All right, people, good early evening. Hope you guys are doing good. We're going to be taking a look at some of the young players on this team and see how they performed in the most recent Seahawks game, as well as overall this season. First, to remind everybody, about an hour from now, me and the Hawks Nest are going to go live over on his channel, the Hawks Nest. We're going to talk about that Chiefs game for an hour or two. You guys know how we do things. Head on over there if you want to see me and Brandon of the Hawks Nest talk about that Chiefs game. I know it wasn't a good game, but we gotta put it to bed regardless, and hope to see you guys there. Just head on over and subscribe to them. And later this week we'll be doing the Jets pregame on my channel. Same system as we always utilize. Okay, so young players on this team. There was some really nice stuff from this Chiefs game, despite the bad result. There was also some bad stuff, but I'm going to definitely try to shine a light on some of the positives that came out of this game because I think we all understand that what the young players do on this team is the most important for the future. Even if this Seahawks team does make the playoffs, the future is more important than the present. It just is. Because the future, there's so much invested on this team that is all about the future. Okay, so good news. Charles Cross played a really nice game. PFF grade went up a couple points. He gave up 2 pressures the whole game. Run block grade went up a few points. Didn't accrue any penalties. Didn't allow any sacks. Cross was probably one of our best players on offense. Now, he wasn't stellar. That's more of an indication of how bad our offense was. But Cross did his thing. Cross played good. And if you take a look at it, and not that this is all positive, Cross and Lucas are very close to each other in their PFF grades, and we're getting to a point now where you could argue that Cross has been about as good as Lucas on the whole this year, which is kind of a big deal because Cross is 21, maybe he's turned 22 now. Lucas has a couple years on Cross. So if Cross is catching up to Lucas, that's a huge, huge vote of confidence in Cross's favor going forward. Lucas has allowed that partially because he didn't play very good against the Chiefs. He allowed a couple sacks. He only played about half the game. He allowed some pressures. His run block grade went down. His grade overall went down. It wasn't a very good game for Abraham Lucas, and he didn't even play the whole game. I did notice one play where he got completely blown up and got pushed back into the backfield like he was a piece of tissue paper. So that was not a good game for Lucas. I will acknowledge that for sure. Definitely fair to point out. Maybe he's hitting a little bit of a rookie wall as well. But both these guys, overall, I want to stress this, I'm encouraged. They've both been above average tackles in the NFL in their rookie year in a offense that has made it hard for them. When I say that, I mean a lot of one-on-one, not a lot of chipping, not a lot of helping, not a lot of double teaming. So still very encouraged by all that. Now, Stone Forsythe, PFF did not like the game that he played at all. They gave him 3 pressures allowed in basically the second half. He only played one half. 3 pressures allowed. Run block grade was actually pretty good, but his pass block grade was really bad. He did pick up a penalty, but I'm going to say what I always say when it comes to Stone Forsythe. He is not a right tackle. The fact that we had to force him out there at right tackle is an indictment of our organization, not an indictment of him. He should be playing left tackle. Jake Curhan should have been available to go in at right, and he wasn't. He was inactive, so we had to go with Stone Forsythe. So I'm going to say props to Stone Forsythe for getting out there and not, crapping his pants. I know it wasn't a good game, but I'm not down on Stone Forsythe because I feel like I know what he is, and what he is not a right tackle. Asking him to do things backwards, it's a recipe for disaster, and he struggled. I think Forsythe being in the game at right tackle is a big reason why we abandoned the passing game largely in the second half. So that's on the organization. I don't think that's on Stone Forsythe, but technically speaking, did not play a very good game. Boye Mafe, on the other hand, saw his PFF grade boost almost 2.5 points, I think, despite not playing a ton. He picked up a couple tackles, including one in the backfield, a tackle for loss on a run play. Very nice play. So Mafe, I thought, played a pretty solid game, and he's another guy. If you take PFF seriously, which I do and I don't at the same time, I think that sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. They have Boye Mafe starting to round into form as an above-average player, somebody who belongs in the NFL and is of positive value. So, given the fact that Boye Mafe is so raw, given the fact that he's behind a handful of guys on the depth chart, all things considered, I think Mafe is doing perfectly fine, and I'm really excited to see where his career goes from here. Ono Giogu didn't play, Vi Jones didn't play. Ken Walker saw maybe his best game ever according to PFF, and I think I know why. And this is, by the way, with him playing injured. He had to work hard to get these yards. Especially early in the game, it felt like he was getting smashed in the backfield constantly. As that game went on, he found ways to create, he found ways to make positive yards down the field, he busted some big plays, and really probably was our best player on offense. I think he probably was our best player on offense in this game. PFF boosted his grade several points, and he's now over 200 touches and about 950 yards on the year. So, Ken Walker, I don't know if he's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but he's going to be on the short list. So, flowers to Ken Walker. He played a really nice game, really effective. I think PFF thinks he played his best game of the year, 100 yards behind an interior offensive line that is just getting smoked. And honestly, Abe Lucas was kind of getting smoked in that game as well. So, almost the whole offensive line just getting annihilated. And Ken Walker finds a way to grind out 100 yards. Derek Young played a little bit, but his grade didn't really move. And that's it for the offensive skill players. Got to get Bo Melton off this list, by the way, because he's gone to Green Bay now, and he'll just never play for us, it looks like. But defensive backs. Kobe Bryant played okay. His grade went up slightly. He picked up a couple of tackles. Let me see here. Yeah, 2 tackles. QBR against went down slightly. Nothing remarkable for Kobe. He hasn't done anything massive lately, both in the good or the bad, I think. Again, he's not playing as much as he used to because teams aren't going into nickel as much. But I still think Kobe's developing fine. Again, a lot of this bad PFF grade is from early in the season. Like, he had that terrible start the first game of the year when he gave up the 60-yard touchdown to Jerry Jeudy. And since then, I think he's been, at least most of the time, better. Tariq Woolen, on the other hand, really nice game from him. I don't think he gave up anything in coverage, maybe 1 catch the whole game. And his grade went up about 3 points, picked up a couple tackles. He had another pass deflection. He's very possibly going to end up with 1 pass deflection per game on the year. And his QBR against still a nice 74.6. So Tariq Woolen continues to grind it out. Joey Blunt did not play, but maybe 1 special team snap in that game, and then he got hurt, I think. I don't know if we're going to see him again this year. At this point, he may as well shut it down. And I don't know what's going on with Trey Brown. I don't know how serious the injury is. I hope to see him this week. Frankly, we could use an infusion of something different right now. I know the defense is playing fairly well, but Michael Jackson struggling to tackle, not playing as good as he was at one point this year, I think. So I wouldn't mind seeing some Trey Brown at some point, but I don't know what's going on health-wise. All right, so that's it for the rookies and sophomores. Mostly pretty good, right? Like, I would take this. I would take most of what we see here for sure, even if it didn't result in a win. So, see you guys tonight over on the Hawks Nest stream. Gonna probably go live on Twitch for a few hours after that stream is over. Go Hawks. See you guys later.